Hello, Satnam. Welcome, friends. What's going on? Stormy Calder here, your favorite spiritual coach, spiritual mentor. Welcome to the video. So in this video, I'm going to break down, I'm going to try to do it quickly too, understanding magnetic attraction and power with men for divine women. How to know if you're attracted to the right man or the wrong one who will siphon your energy and effectively sell it back to you. It places them in a very karmic position. So I know you guys have probably heard the difference between divine men and karmic men. I'm going to give you my breakdown for single feminine women who want to keep their spiritual power safe and their energy safe. I feel like it's so hard to discern, and it's taken me a long time to learn these lessons, so I'm really happy to share them because I'm constantly reading the energy of people and the dynamics of how people exchange energy with me and my channel and what my channel tells me where people are sourcing their power and everything. So I've got it down to a really safe feminine connection. What does that mean? When you feel safe as a divine feminine, you can rest in your feminine. You can be in your sweet, soft girl era. It doesn't mean you can't dominate. It doesn't mean you can't slay. It doesn't mean you can't try on your masculine traits and get shit done, work in your careers, etc. But what women struggle with the most is being able to relax in their relationships because they chose men that are sourcing their energy from a place that siphons from the feminine spiritual energy, which means the feminine can't rest in the feminine energy. And the feminine energy is like the fountain of youth. It's the outpouring spiritual source flow of energy, immaterially and materially. It provides creativity, it provides inspiration, it provides good feelings, it provides happiness, it provides it's provision spiritually. So when you feel safe with a man, you can actually rest and relax in that soft, sweet feminine energy, which allows you to be your full divine feminine. All right. We might go into this in depth in other videos as well. Now, I want to say men and women have different powers of attraction. The genders are really, really important. I'm not going to really speak to gay relationships, although they're generally taking a gender role as well. But I'm going to speak heterosexual because that's just how my guides speak to me. It's easier to understand the polarities. So take what you love, leave the rest, as always. So I work with this from a place of a criteria of 3 components that I'm looking for or understanding with a man's energy or a male character. When we're looking for divine masculine, it's not just about them being masculine or about them being woo-woo or spiritual or about them being in touch with their feelings. It actually goes to a much greater extent that I feel like is just very missing in spiritual communities. So I'm here to do a little education. All right. Also, feel free to comment below. Let me know what resonates or what you think about this. And like the video, subscribe, tap the bell if you haven't done that yet. Okay, so criteria number 1. You want to know where that man's power is coming from. Because when we are attracted to men, you're attracted to their power. So where is their power source? There are many different power sources, okay? And I'm not going to go into them into depth, but I'm going to tell you that you want to know where a man's power is coming from. A divine masculine is a man who draws on his own source power from his own personal connection to his masculinity, which is through spirit. It is through source. It is through God. Obviously, these can take on different traits. They can be religious men. They can be godly men. They can be more metaphysical or spiritual, or maybe they just have a really dedicated practice to their own meditation or whatever it is they do to keep their own sacred connection with spirit, which for men often looks very different than women. I think meditation's great, but a good godly man doesn't necessarily have to look spiritual. They just are in their pure source connection, which is some level of a daily practice for that man to maintain his balanced power within himself, within the Most High and his lower body without allowing his ego to get in the way, because men's egos are much bigger than women. They get really stuck on their ego. They have to posture around their ego. So you want to know that his source of power is not coming from his ego, ultimately. Now, you want to know, or you want to look for, that a man is drawing on his own source power from a spiritual connection to the pure, formless substance of God's source intelligence. Again, that'll look a little bit different per every man. I'm not going to categorize them because they don't all look spiritual. The point is, just know that as a staple of criteria number 1. Criteria number 2 is, what gender pole is this man committed to expressing from creatively, dominantly? Where is he dominantly expressing? Which gender pole? Is he dominantly expressing as a man, or is he dominantly expressing as a feminine? And I also want to say this is about seeing whether or not he's dedicated to his own masculine expression creatively. And this does not mean he's not soft, sweet, caring, nurturing. It doesn't mean that at all. Those things come with every divine masculine, okay? It just means that he's anchored in his healthy masculine divine power. What does that look like? Determined, decisive. They're on a mission. They get shit done. They make first moves. They pursue. They plan. They think ahead. They are architecting the universe around them. It's a very masculine trait. They are creating worlds through, it's almost like an architecture, through planning, and getting structures into place, and then like building. They're builders. Okay? And then criteria number 3 is, does he respect and love women, or does he demean them and make the women his spiritual power and the power of his ego dominance to use for conflict? Very simply, the way my spirit guides say this is they just label people misogynist or non-misogynist. Like they're like, either they have a healthy respect for feminine energy and for women in general. Chivalry is great to look for, to begin to see that, but it's not an end-all be-all. Or if they are misogynistic. If you feel mistreated or demeaned in any way by a man for your divine feminine nature, again, not karmic. I'm not speaking to any of the karmic narcissistic women. Like, they're not on my channel. If you feel like they don't respect inherently your femininity and what needs to be reserved for the feminine. So the feminine works in cycles. We are more moody because we are working in 28-day cycles. We have different ways of creating that are flow-based. It doesn't mean we can't create from structure or can't plan or can't architect. Of course we can, but it's not the dominant frequency of a divine feminine. A divine feminine is in a creative flow state, and to remain in that flow state in relationship, the man has to be in a dominant masculine expression. Again, we all carry both feminine and masculine aspects of ourselves in our own polarity, and it's really great to be balanced. But the thing that our society lacks the most are men that can actually cater to the divine feminine. There's a huge lack of men that can cater to the divine feminine, and what happens is divine feminine women find themselves over-compromising in relationship. They end up in the wrong relationships or the right relationships, but the men that they selected, even if they're soulmates, aren't holding a masculine core, so the woman actually can't fully relax into her feminine state and nature and can't prosper from that place, which I don't even know that I can describe, but it is the fountain of youth. You will just glow. Everything you touch turns to gold. That is a feminine trait. Okay, let me just think for 1 second here. Yeah, let's go into it. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to split this into 2 videos, but we will keep going. So, what makes a man attractive to a woman? Is it their feminine traits or their masculine traits? And I want you to think about this, because if you're a feminine and you really want to rest in your divine femininity and allow that to prosper throughout your life, throughout your relationships, then you want to focus on selecting and choosing and engaging with men that can hold the polarity of an alpha masculinity, not to be confused with toxic masculinity. I'm not going to go into the differences. I'm going to trust that you guys have some awareness around that. Toxic men are not divine. Okay, they're karmic. We're ignoring them out of this video for right now. I'm really at all times. Okay, so when you're attracted to a man, you're attracted to their power. That attraction is subtle. It feels like it runs in the background. It's really automatic for both parties, actually. And when you slow the process down, which is what my spirit guides have asked me to do through the years, and understand the attraction, what is creating that power. Attraction is a power, okay? When we understand where that power is coming from, we can make better selections for relationships. Better selections in relationships mean you can have healthier relationships. It means you can have two independent parties that are maintaining their own core source connections independently, and when they come together, it's easy, and it's collaborative, and it's partnership based, and it's beautiful, and the man gets to be a man and a woman gets to be a woman. Obviously, they can switch roles here and there too, but you want to know that the dominant traits are taken care of, because women have to act like men. Throughout culture, throughout our societies, either they're damsels or they're masculine. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I hear from a lot of women, like, we're all just kind of sick of, like, having to act like men. So it's not all the man's fault. It's our ability to choose and select. We're in power as much as they are. So are you choosing the right men to be around that can support your feminine essence? Okay? And what you give as a feminine being, if that's what you want. Which I assume, since you're watching the video, it is what you want. So you want to understand these polarities and to see that a man is steady in his core source connection. If he is not steady in his core source connection, a core source connection is something we revitalize and amplify daily. If he's not steady in that, then he's going to be stealing from yours. This is very, very common in relationships. It's been very, very common in if we look back in history, and it's common when I channel. Part of, like, the typical human marriage is that women are just siphoned off of in order for men to do anything that they're doing on this planet. But it doesn't have to be that way. Women just have to learn how to choose a little bit better. I'm part of that education, so we'll take it from here. So where do men source their power, and how to know if it's safe to rest into your feminine energy and engage with them? If they source their power from anything that's not God, you will not feel safe to rest in your feminine energy. You might maybe 10%, 20%, but for you to unlock your full goddess and be, like, in a full creative state all the time, and to feel really feminine all the time, which is such a gift to have a feminine body, you need to know that they have a steady source connection, not pulling off yours. All right, so here's what I want to say about, I'm going to go into feminine men and masculine men. Men that express themselves more dominantly in a feminine way, that still identify as men, and they're we'll say heterosexual for this example, okay? When we feel attracted to them, if you feel a real just, like, pull, and you're so attractive to a man that is, like, more spiritual or more woo-woo or more feminine by nature, softer, sweeter, he's, like, non-argumentative, and I'm not saying to go for argumentative men either, but this is just kind of the vibe. Here's the truth. When you're attracted to that sort of man, you're not really attracted to him. Because for a man to carry forward feminine energy, he's not connected to source. Not with his pure source connection. He's connected to source in a different way, and that's what I'm going to explain. When you're attracted to the sort of man, you are attracted to the women or woman that he is siphoning his source power from. When a man feels feminine, it's because he's carrying and wearing feminine energy, because a man is not truly in feminine essence. He doesn't have a womb space. He cannot be the true expression of the feminine. He, of course, can have feminine traits, and we celebrate those men as well. Of course, men, like, we want you all to be balanced. But the truth is, if as a woman, if you're attracted to a really more feminized man, it's not that you're attracted to him. It's that you're attracted to the energy that he's wearing on his fields. He's wearing feminine power, and he cannot get that feminine power from source direct within his own connection. So if he's wearing feminine power, you are attracted to the women in his energy field. That is how men feel safe when they're not safe. And this takes a lot of discernment to understand this stuff, but I'm kind of happy to just, like, go into it. It's really a trap for women because we feel safe with them, but really you feel safe with the women that are feeding him. So if you were to enter a long-term relationship with this man, or any level of even situationship, you're going to feel confused in your own feminine energy because you're actually attracted to the women he's attracted to, not necessarily you, and or it becomes you, and then you become the feeding tube, and then he's also attracting other women and they're attracted to him, because of your energy. And this is how divine feminine energy gets like siphoned off through lots of different people, and why it's actually so hard to be a divine feminine. But we love it. It comes with a lot of perks, all right? So where is that feminine energy that he's wearing? Where's that essence being sourced from? It could be friends. It could be exes. And for the players out there, it's for the women that he's either sleeping with or that he has open conversations with, because sexual energy can be exchanged just through opening conversation. The sacral chakra connects when it feels attraction and starts to move energy through. So even if you're, I don't know, contemplating being with a man that just has many, maybe he's not sleeping with other women, but he has many open conversations with many other women and doesn't understand his own sacral energy. He's exchanging that energy in a very energetically sexual way, which drains off of the main feminine, the main divine feminine energy, because we carry more divine energy, and he's not matching his core source frequency as a man. So, it's just be mindful with these dynamics that in any relationship like this, he's drawing energy from other women, which creates a siphoning energy or like a vampiric spiritual dark contract. Now, are there divine couples that are in these contracts? Yes. Are there twin flames in these contracts? Yes. It's really imperfect because Source hasn't figured out at the Most High that I've been channeling, like they're doing their best to help elevate the earth into the 5D. And we're not there yet. Like, we've accessed the 5D, but humans haven't like worked it through all the relationships and made examples. And, we're not seeing a lot of it out there. So it is very standard even for soulmate couples, for the man to be drawing his power from other women or from her and not his own connection, which siphons and draws off of her. So she's actually working 10 times harder spiritually to keep her energy clean, because she's providing for someone else and for all of his other connections. Again, I don't want to like demean it, because it is standard for human relationship, but I know even just like doing the education around this, you guys will start to be able to discern, and it opens up the energy and brings in new light codes, and then you can start to make better choices. And this extends out to the greater network as we grow into the 5D, where relationships can get better. Okay, now let's talk about more masculine men that are dedicated to their masculine source expression, divine masculine men, that come off more masculine or more alpha. Again, not to be confused with any level of toxicity, all right? They have their own source connection. They are dedicated to revitalizing themselves in their daily source connection, not from women, not from feminine validation. It's really, really important. Men seek validation from women as much as women seek validation from men. The validation has to come from the self. The validation has to come from God's source. It has to come from pure, formless substance, your relationship to the Creator in whatever way that they see fit. Divine masculine men, what are these masculine traits? They choose to claim. They know what they want. They're clear with what they want. Men naturally know what they want. They come with more structure. They're very clear. They're generally very decisive. They're very direct, and they're very determined in their divine energy. And they're very easy to respect. It's easy for women to respect them because they don't look for a woman's validation. They're getting their validation from Source. They're getting their validation from God. Not from other people even. From God. And from them knowing that they're walking on their path, on their mission, and them having a relationship to Source and their own spirituality in whatever way that works out for them individually. That is a man that is trustworthy, because he's maintaining his own source connection, which makes it very, very safe when you're working with, when you're in relationship with or choosing a divine masculine. You can truly just be you. You'll never be too much or not enough. You'll be able to be completely you. The feminine is the constant flowing, constant changing state. If you've ever heard people be like, oh my God, she changes her mind all the time, she's so moody. Like, yeah, we're on a 28-day cycle. We have menstruation. We give birth to babies. There's a very different process for how women work their energy. And for that to feel safe in this world, and for you to feel like you can be all of yourself in every way, you need a man that's got his own power secure. so that you can be everything that you are. All right? Okay, that's what I've got for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I don't know if this will be popular, but I mean, I'm here to relay the channel and the experience. If you did enjoy this or you did find it valuable or useful, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know from you guys. And yeah, if you're looking to jump into and understand arcane magic and the dynamics of your own source connection as a divine feminine woman, tapping into your Shakti power, understanding the powers of the planet, understanding the powers of working with the elemental guides and guardians, divine source power, managing your own core source frequency, and being safe while you do it so that you can be completely happy, well-developed in your own divine feminine energy without having to give off your energy or siphon it off, and you want to always feel safe in your energy and in your spirituality, then I'd love to invite you into my program, The Source Code. It's my monthly membership. There is a 9-month enrollment option and a month-to-month enrollment option. I have the link in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email if you're wondering if it's right for you or have any questions about the program. And I'm happy to chat about that. And until the next video, enjoy, you guys. Sending you lots of love, and I'll talk to you soon.